Your San Jose Sharks tried to go for 3 in a row for the first time since January. Didn't get the victory that they want. We'll break down this one from Alberta. Easy for me to say. And keep an eye on the Barracuda right now. This is Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is Thursday night, March 24th, 2022. The Sharks lose to the Edmonton Oilers 5-2. Welcome to Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks post-game. We do this after every game, and if you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow hockey fans on the page or the app. And, of course, follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Smash that subscribe button on YouTube. SoundCloud, Reddit, Discord, and find everything at tealtownusa.com. And it's a big broadcast, hoping for 3 in a row. And, well, you got 3 of us in a row, not the Sharks winning streak. But I am joined tonight by Mr. Ian Reed.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. And making back-to-back starts, Dana Meyerson. Hello. You might be muted, my dear. Well, try it again.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. All right, good to see you, my friends. So the Sharks come into Edmonton after getting back-to-back victories in comeback fashion, beating the Desert Dogs and the Calgary Flames, hoping to do the same thing in Edmonton to go for the back-to-back Alberta sweep. You saw Carlson and Merkley back together. Shemilevsky moved up onto the second line. Balcers and Gregor onto the third. But in the first period, Ian, I thought Edmonton kind of dominated early, and then the Sharks picked it up later.
Yeah, Sharks kind of started the game a little flat-footed, I found. Edmonton came out pretty much flying. The Sharks had like a few moments, but again, like, this team has had a hard time with zone time, especially, and getting shots, which is really unfortunate tonight because the Oilers started Mike Smith, who isn't very good and hasn't really been that good this year. And unfortunately, like, there was a couple goals where obviously like they were very Mike Smith goals to give up, but unfortunately the Sharks not being able to maintain a lot of zone time, especially with like some of their top guys on, and then obviously Couture goes down. I don't think they made Mike Smith work probably half as hard as they wanted him to.
All right. As I go to you, Dana, I'm going to say this from Zebra Kicks Shoebies. Podcast loaded with more talent than the team. LOL. What did you take from that opening frame?
Yeah, kind of what Ian said about, stop, sorry, my cat's being annoying, and it's like a minute into it was very on brand. Yeah, like, possession was such an issue, and like, I think, Kahkonen looked sharp, which is good. But it just seemed like at every turn, like, some guy from the Oilers was just like outsmarting whichever Shark player was next to him, or kind of capitalizing on some of those sloppy things. So I think it wasn't, as in terms of like Sharks struggling with like not giving the puck away, it wasn't as bad as it has been in some other games, but it was kind of like, okay, we're doing this again, like, same old.
Yeah, they really they really got off to a rough start, but I thought they found their feet early. I got to mention the Erik Karlsson early on defensively, not too bad. Steals the puck from McDavid, has Evander Kane to sit down on the ice, and then the experiment, Ian, with Merkley and Carlson, they look like they're trying to stretch the pass a bit here and there, which I thought was interesting to generate some chances.
Yeah, it was nice. I really liked the one, like, there was that really nice pass in the first period that Merkley fed to Carlson. Actually, it's kind of a cross between the two of them, kind of sending the puck back and forth to each other. And it's nice. Like, I like that Ryan Merkley's playing with a lot more confidence of late, I find. And then playing with a guy like Erik Karlsson too, I think helps that as well, right? Because they're both very creative players, and I think when you have a guy like Erik Karlsson on the other point, you can do things a little more creatively. And a lot of times, like, Erik Karlsson's going to bail you out in that situation. So, like, even if you try something and it doesn't go perfectly, you have confidence at least that the guy who you're throwing the puck to isn't going to, cough up the puck, and then you're not going to ride the pine for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and go ahead. I'm sorry, Dana. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I think, when they announced Karlsson-Merkley pairing, like, I was a little skeptical because, whenever you have those two kind of offensively minded guys, it's like, well, who's going to hold down the fort, the blue line? But I think, baffling how when you give a rookie more ice time and kind of give them a longer leash to, like, learn, they get better. They get more confident. Who'd have thunk?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a novel idea, Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Get to it. Second period, it pays dividends. I thought Karlsson stole the puck. Then he fed Barabanov and Meyer, and it was a nice cross-ice passing play. Again, stretching the Oilers defensively, and Karlsson was by the net, nothing to it, and he makes it 1-0. Dana, what did you think from that nice play? Sorry, I didn't mean to catch you.
I think my cat is attacking me.
It's a tradition on this show, so it's fine.
I know. Sorry, can you repeat your question?
No, what did you think of the Karlsson goal?
At first I thought it was Timo's, but either way, like, that was a good, like, tic-tac-toe. I was definitely impressed. Oh my God. I swear she's nice. She just hates when I ignore her for even like 2 seconds. Reggie, come on. You got a treat for every Shark goal. That's 2 more treats than I usually give you at this time of night. She says, I wish it was more. Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You know what? Y'all have any thoughts? I'll be right back.
Ian, what did you take from the goal? You're good. Dana.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously the defensive play. It just like a great bang, bang, bang play, right? Like, obviously the defensive play, Erik Karlsson makes a really good defensive play on the blue line. And then, again, like, with Erik Karlsson back on the ice, like, the Sharks have had an easier time transitioning the puck up the ice. And, this one, they make, a bunch of really good passes that ends up in the back of the net. Really, it's unfortunate because, like, you would hope to see probably a little bit more of that this season, but I'm not gonna, I'm never gonna get mad when the Sharks do good. Definitely great play. Again, but it's the big thing to me. Like, the goal was really nice, but it's the defensive. It's the play at the blue line that's, I think, the more impressive part of it. The goal was really nice too. Don't get me wrong.
No, I get you full marks on that. But yeah, you saw those little tiny pieces of Karlsson doing something nice defensively, and there've been a number of times, whether it's us or technologists or Brody and Brownie seeing a defensive breakdown or just missing that. It's nice to see that, and that's kind of where guys hope to have offensive chances come off of defensive breakdowns. So that was nice to see. Unfortunately for the Sharks, that's their only lead of the night. 3 minutes in, and Jeffrey Viel trips up an Oiler, sets up a power play. Kyler Yamamoto, who's been on a roll lately, 4.5 minutes into the second, ties it up at 1. Dana, I mean, that's a frustrating one to let down, especially with the Sharks now giving up, another power play goal.
Yeah, power play is like even more of a dumpster fire than usual. Yeah. Sorry, did I say power play or penalty kill?
Either way, you're right.
Yeah, either way.
No, well, okay.
Either way, accurate tonight.
Yeah.
The penalty kill is the one thing that, like, Brownie can. I'm sorry, I love Brownie. I hate that, like, back-to-back episodes. Anyway, he loves to talk about the penalty kill, and it's like, what are you going to talk about after this game? He's not wrong, but it's like that was the one thing. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Was it that one, or was it the second goal where it was like
that was awful.
Cassian cross-checked Carlson, and was it this one or was it the second one?
That's the next one.
That's the next one. So Cassian cross-checks Erik Karlsson, although Mark Spector from Sportsnet says otherwise if you look at our Twitter feed. Draisaitl gets to his 43rd. I mean, Ian, what did you think of this?
I mean, to back up a second, I mean, like, if you're going to call the VL penalty, you have to call this one, right? Like, I mean, obviously, Spec's gonna spec, obviously, in the situation here. The second goal, I mean, I don't like it because I feel like Kahkonen was really flat-footed. I don't know if it was a situation where he's like, well, that's a penalty. So just expecting the whistle to blow and just didn't really get set because, like, I don't know. I really didn't like this goal. It's kind of one of those things where you have to play to the whistle. Yep. And maybe it just got flat. Look, Draisaitl has a deceptively fast shot. So I don't know if that's a situation there too. But to me, he just looked flat-footed. Not a good goal to allow, and not a good penalty not to call, in my opinion, especially if you're going to call the VL one the other way.
Frustrating to see. It's because you've seen how they're supposed to call these cross checks. We had the mandate come down, and how many times have we seen a mandate from the league? To do that, Dana. But it's tough to see it all around with the cross check. And
it's a dangerous play too, because it's like it doesn't seem like it's a big play, but because of the proximity to the boards, and I don't think Karlsson's expecting that kind of push from that close to the boards. Like it's a dangerous play too. Like it's one of those things where it seems like a nothing play, but you could watch that play and see how easily that could go wrong if Karlsson, twists his skate a little bit. I mean, look what happened to Mario Ferraro earlier. It's kind of a similar thing.
So that makes it 2-1. Meyer would get high stick by Evander Kane, and that was just like a careless use of the stick from Kane. And of course he gets butt hurt, and then gets even more butt hurt at the end of the period when he slips and then runs into Magna, and then everybody's oh, where's the call there? It's like, well, he slipped. Sorry. 2-1 after one, and then the tough one is Derek Brassard in his Oilers debut gets his 7th of the year. Dana double deflects off of both defensemen there, which is tough to see, and that honestly I think was kind of the backbreaker overall.
Yeah. Just going back to the cross check that wasn't called, if I may.
Go ahead.
I feel like Karlsson to me isn't the kind of player to embellish boohoo. But I feel like he could have, you know what I mean? And I saw some other things in this game where that felt like embellishments, like in the sense of when Kane gets just a teeny tiny little Megna, that didn't seem that bad to me. And he falls flat on his face, holding his face down on the ice. I'm glad the refs didn't fall for that, but that was just obviously I'm looking for any reason to be mad at Kane, so maybe I'm biased. But Karlsson tries, I see he falls over again twice, just trying to get it out of there. And it was just unfortunate that then, I got my Post-its and I wrote "total softie" in all caps by Kahkonen. But and that was because I was kind of, I saw the cross-check just happen so fast, and then the first thing I see is Kahkonen just way out of the
crease.
Yeah, what do you call it? And just he tries, kind of close the little 5-hole, but that doesn't make a difference. At first I was like, how could you do that? But then I see he probably was expecting there to be a call, which is fair, but just unfortunate.
Yeah, and so tough one there to make it 3-1. However, 29 seconds later, Tomas Hertl says, "Yeah, I need to score to start making money for my contract." With a nice shot in the slot, makes it 3-2. Ian, I mean, this put him right back in it, but again, I thought that third one was the backbreaker.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of got back in it. It was a good response. Like, obviously, it was a good response by the Sharks to come back and score a goal. We've seen far too often this year where they don't really have that fight in them. This game, with the way they played stretches this game could have got away from them really quick. So I do give them some credit. And I think other than the second goal I didn't like, but I thought like Kahkonen was pretty good tonight. We'll get more into that later. I'll let you continue on.
Gotcha. So later in the period, Milosh takes a puck over glass penalty after he gets pressured. And then Edmonton gets another goal. And this time it was a tic-tac-toe passing play for Edmonton on that one, where Draisaitl gets his 44th of the season to pretty much put this one away at 4-2. But, Dana, the Sharks had chances on their 2 power plays, and that wasn't good.
Yeah. Story of our lives. I can't remember a time when the Sharks power play was like good for a period longer than like a month or two.
She's not wrong, folks.
No, I mean, we've been good at lots of things over the years, and rarely power play. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a frustrating thing. I mean, I think we should point out though that like Nick Bonino's quite the downgrade from Logan Couture.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna get to that, I guess.
That doesn't help, and I'm not trying to let the power play off the hook here, but I mean that doesn't help anything, right? Like, obviously, when you move, when you lose a body like that, especially when this group is kind of, mediocre at best, even at full strength, that's just not a good look.
Yeah. So let's kind of backtrack to that. So Logan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dana.
Oh no, sorry. It was just the Discord.
Oh, my bad. So Logan, in the middle of the second period, takes a shot to what appears to be like that small spot where, your shoulder pads cover your chest, and then the hockey pants aren't all the way there. I swear to God, Dana, this poor guy. I mean, at least it wasn't his teeth again. But that can't feel good to take a puck right to your abdomen.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that Cooch, has taken those kind of penalties where it was just like really like took in like the worst spot, because like he plays with his heart and soul. Like, he will absolutely take some damage for this team, and obviously that was just like a fluke, like he just happened to be there, but it's just so unfortunate because it was literally a Sharks shot, and there's so many things I would rather do than take a Brent Burns shot to any part of my body, but ribs are low on that list. So
yeah, I mean, Logan Couture, like, bless his little heart, considering all the times the puck has killed him. Like, he's always out there trying to get in the goalie's eyes, and obviously if you get in the goalie's eyes, then you're getting between the goalie and the shot, and Logan just doesn't get out of the way.
Yeah, I think he tries to let it hit something with a soft blow, but nonetheless, he sat out the rest of the game. According to Bob Bugner, hopefully it's just a day-to-day thing. Couture will be assessed tomorrow, so
rib injuries are awful though. Like, so if it's anything more than bruising, like even bruising's not gonna be fun. Like, bruised ribs are not fun, but anything worse than bruised ribs, like that's gonna affect your whole game, and there's just that's just gonna be bad for Couture and thus bad for the Sharks.
Yeah, when I was 10, I fell down 3-flight marble staircase and bruised my ribs, and I couldn't speak for like 3 hours.
Not fun, no matter.
Oh, I was distracted by my 3rd generation iPod Nano. So
I mean, whether you're 10 years old, distracted by your iPod Nano or taking a Brent Burns slap shot, yeah, that's never fun with the potential ribs or abdomen area. So Evander Kane would add an empty netter to finish this one off to make it 5-2, the final here. Let's talk about the debut of Kaapo Kahkonen, though. Dana, what did you think of the guy who 36 saves on 40 shots? I mean, not bad, but in a losing cause.
Yeah, no, I think the softy, again, this is maybe I can see why he might have been out of position. But kind of putting that aside. Yeah, I mean, I thought he looked pretty good. Obviously, not a world beater, but that makes me happy considering I think a lot of people kind of questioned us acquiring him. And, I'll say like it isn't super ideal that we have 3 NHL goalies now, so it's like a little confusing. But, looking at his stats from earlier this season not being so great, I still say you always want to give a guy a little bit of time. Being with a different team can like totally change things. And, again, it's been 1 game, but, I mean, it's good that he played well. I'd rather he play well in any given game, than not. So glad to see that, he, is, at least getting started on the right foot.
Ian, I mean, does this have the potential to be like the Barabanov trade from last year where the Sharks might have snuck and got something,
I mean, you never know, right? And especially with goalies are voodoo. What I really liked about Kahkonen's games, like there was a lot of pluses that I really liked. I thought he was really good positionally. I thought he was very rarely out of position. A lot of the goals tonight that went in the net were not really his fault. They were just a lot of defensemen looking like deer in the headlights. I thought, I think the one thing that really stood out to me from his game tonight was his rebound control. Sharks goalies generally aren't good at rebound control, and he was great. Like even James Reimer, as much as I love Reimer, rebound control is not his game. James Reimer will often allow, that second and third opportunity, where I thought with Kahkonen tonight didn't really give the Oilers a lot of second and third shots. Anything that went to him generally stayed with them. And those are definitely things that you'd want to see, especially from a guy who, probably is going to be here going forward at some point. Dana bringing up that the Sharks have 3 goalies, but I can't imagine that being the case by the end of summer. I think I'm surprised by the teams that probably needed a goalie and didn't move on James Reimer, although we did talk about this on that show where, with James Reimer having the some of the bumps and bruises along this year, that maybe people are a little buyer beware on him as far as like looking for a guy to you maybe carry you into the playoffs or be a guy that you can go to in the playoffs. So there was a lot of things about Kahkonen's game I liked tonight. Yeah, I didn't like that second goal, but I thought other than that, like the fourth goal, the Draisaitl second goal, like Jacob Magna, I don't know what the hell he was doing. And I think Jacob Magna's been really bad the second half of the year. It's, I don't know, time to send the guys back to the guy factory if only they could. But yeah, I'm not, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Kahkonen's like gonna be the guy going forward or anything, but and again, it's 1 game, but I liked a lot of what he does better than I've liked Adin Hill this season, just as far as positioning and rebound control, especially for a guy the size of Adin Hill.
And just off of that first start alone tonight, I thought he looked pretty sharp in the game. Not saying that Adin Hill hasn't had those moments, but I just felt a little more confident in Kahkonen's net minding for sure. So AJ saying Ian's clamoring for Shimmick over Magna.
I'm not clamoring for anything. I don't know. And I saw a thing in the chat about like his 5-hole not being good. Like I don't really that Yamamoto goal. I don't really like. Yeah, it's a 5-hole goal, but I thought it was a really good move. And not only that, but like again, like you know, your defenseman needs to stop that puck from getting to the like. There's no reason that Yamamoto should be able to squeak through there and put that goal. So it's a tough save to make because you're kind of expecting your defense to make a save, and you need to obviously respect the pass, so you can't completely just lock down the 5-hole there. I don't know. I don't really fault them on the Yamamoto goal, which was the only real 5-hole goal that I thought you could have an issue with, other than the first Draisaitl goal. But again, play to the whistle.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Sharks lose this one 5-2. I think it's time for our newest segment of the show now, Dana's post-it notes. Or there anything that you wanted to add on before I go to the locker room comments?
Sure. Let's see what I've got. I was gonna say, can Hetty stop complimenting Evander Kane, but you know.
Oh.
I don't have time of day for that.
It's interesting, not to cut you off, but it's interesting how like the guys that pump Evander Kane's tires, they're all former players.
Yeah. Awkward.
Yeah.
Especially in play down to the newbies.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's like because obviously like they're just a lot of these guys talk like they're still in the room or like they're still in the room or they're still one of the guys. So it just kind of, I don't know, hockey culture not always great.
Yeah, it's just like clearly like setting everything he may or may not have done aside. Sharks fans don't want to hear about him.
No.
Yeah.
Just, dude, like McDavid and Draisaitl are on that team. You have so much to talk about.
Yeah, they're a pair of goals from Draisaitl who looks sharp. McDavid on the empty netter got his 60th assist.
Yeah, and Draisaitl's like an unreal goal scorer, right? Like just guy's unreal. And obviously Connor McDavid. Yeah.
So they got talent all around. Mike Smith, does Mike Smith things against the Sharks for some reason, but yeah, go figure. Dana, anything else to add on? Go ahead.
Yeah, I wrote Sharks power play anemic as usual. Goalies should, I went on this rant last time, goalies should serve their own penalties when it's like something just stupid, not like an unforced error or something like that, just, pushing, shoving, that kind of thing. Like, obviously it's, it's not like the Sharks power play did anything with it, but just kind of classless, I guess. And the last thing is just Hurdle, amazing goal. It made me happy.
Yeah.
But that was that.
Yeah, no, Hurdle's goal was nice to get them within a one. Just wish they had that extra push like they've had the last two games, but just not able to pull it out on this night. So, comments from the locker room. Carlson on losing Middleton. On a personal level, it sucks, but I think we have some guys on the back end that can step in. And like we mentioned tonight, I thought, him and Merkley looked pretty awesome. Decently. And Carlson, when he asked about the goal he scored, he's like, my goal? Which one? The good one? He's a freaking comedian now. Okay. Oh, jeez.
I love that man.
Yeah. Carlson kind of poking fun at himself since he had that own goal as well, which unfortunately turned out to be the game-winning goal. I
don't know what else he's supposed to do there. Like, he stopped. Like, I know people are like, oh, you didn't stop. You puck went off his skate and it went in the net. But, like, he stopped, like, Nugent Hopkins from making a play on there. It just went off his skate. Like, shit happens.
Yeah, one of those rough nights. Indeed. Kahkonen said, I felt fine. Felt good from the start. I'm going to learn this system. Good is not good enough in this league. We have to keep moving forward. Like that spirit. Draisaitl is a great player, but I have to make that save. First game is always a little different. Nothing happens overnight. We have a standard of exceptions that to expectations, I think, to get better on that one. Bob, mentioned, the first power play goal against our F1 abandoned the middle of the ice. Last power play goal, we have to cover McDavid, and we didn't. 2 mistakes, two goals. Like I said, the Sharks.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Magna looked like such a deer in the fucking headlights too. Like, I don't know what. I think, like, again, obviously with injuries and guys getting moved out, guys are gonna have to play ahead of where they probably should be in an ideal lineup. But man, yeah, Magna had a rough night.
So, Sharks have allowed 6 power play goals in 5 games, while the power play, as Dana said, anemic, at 0 for their last 18 now. Or excuse me, 0 for last 19 because they went 0 for 2. Carlson continued on with Edmonton has one of the best power plays in the league. Sometimes we're going to get scored on. I don't think we did anything wrong. Other than that, I thought we were solid on special teams. Well,
I disagree.
Carly, I know you have a great first name, but yeah, no. Continue on, Bugner. I thought Kahkonen was good, but our PK let him down tonight. I thought he battled hard for us. We have guys playing the PK that haven't played much, and losing Couture didn't help. Both goals against were due to a bit of inexperience. And finally, from Bugner, I thought Gregor had a strong game. Sasha and Leonard made some plays. Merkley had some too. They're all going to make mistakes, but they're getting good time on ice. I swear I heard something like that from Dana earlier.
Yeah, it's nice that it's nice that he's being forced to play guys that maybe he wouldn't normally play. It's nice. I'm happy to see, I'm happy Shemilevsky has been brought up. And I thought they had I thought he had some decent plays, and I thought I liked Leonard's game. There's a lot of things I like. Obviously, the overall game wasn't there, but if you look at some of the performances from some of the younger guys, there's definitely a lot of things that I liked about about some of the younger guys' games for sure. Just not on the defensive end of the puck.
Yeah. So that's it for that one. Yeah, but how high can we get in the Tankathon rankings? We're getting to Tankathon time, huh?
Oh my God.
Jeez. But before we get to that, a couple of things. Let's give you an update on the Barracuda.
Ooh, Barracuda.
Ooh, there we go. Your San Jose Barracuda are currently playing at Sharks Ice in San Jose. There must be an event at the Shark Tank for this. They're down 3-1 to the Abbotsford Canucks with about 3 minutes to go in this one. Jaden Helgewatz with the lone goal for the Cuda. Yes, I said that right. Scrabble doing things. So late in the third, Helgewatz with the lone goal for the Cuda as they're down 3-1 to the Abbotsford Canucks. So now it's going to be time to talk about one of my favorite subjects, jerseys. As you've seen yesterday, the Toronto Maple Leafs had notable jersey designer Justin Bieber help out and design the first reversible sports jersey in North America. You have the black jersey with the blue stripes on the arms, and you can turn it inside out, and you can have it as with his Drew House brand yellow and the little maple leaf with the smile on the face. Gang, what do you think of this design? I mean, obviously it's out of nowhere. It definitely doesn't speak Maple Leafs, but what do you two think? I'll start with you, Dana.
The resident Gen Zer. I like them. At first, I was, I had to warm up to it. But I think, as we've seen, the NHL has a bit of an issue with being young and hip. And I'm not like really a Bieber fan, but I think if we want the league to continue, it's good to put stuff out there like this. And I think reversibility, I don't know, is cool. Because it's a little bit like getting 2 for 1. Maybe you're going to 2 Leafs games this week, and you're ordinarily you might be like, oh, I don't, do I want to wear the same jersey 2 games in a row if I have other things, but if you jerseys sorry, Marge, shut up. Jerseys, they're expensive, so literally you can wear one side to one game and one side to the other. And I think it's cool that they used some yellow. Obviously is not the Maple Leafs color, but I kind of like when teams venture out a little bit. It's the opposite of what hockey culture often is, which is just doing the same thing every year for a billion years.
No.
Yeah, so I have the inability to read, so I didn't realize at first that I thought there were 2 separate jerseys. I disagree a little bit on the yellow, because this is a team that has the Boston Bruins have crushed them. Have been a big thorn in their side about making it out of the first round in the playoffs. And it kind of reminds me of when remember when the St. Louis Blues had that red jersey?
Oh yes.
Right? It's oh well, the Red Wings keep feeding us our entrails, so we're gonna wear, so we're gonna make our jersey red too. I don't know, it's like the Sharks wearing black in the playoffs against the Kings. Just dumb.
Oh,
dumb. But I do like the blue one. I like the blue side of it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's nice, and they have the nice little Easter egg of the Toronto skyline. It's like I've seen this before. Oh, that's right. You have seen that before. The Easter egg with the circuitry and the stealth jersey. Oh, So,
I like it. I like that better than the stealth jersey. I'm not gonna lie.
There's a little bit to it that I kind of find funny when I talked to Terry Smith about doing the stealth jersey. The league turned away from having black numbers on black jerseys, and now we see this one along with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I can't help myself but think, the irony that Toronto and Tampa Bay are now each have black jerseys with barely readable numbers. But I digress. Yeah. But it was had me inspired though to help unofficially unveil the Sharks' new reversible stealth jersey. We call it the Fun Must Be Always jersey, complete with paint tape and with the happy face and the smile that says Sharks on it. Because let's be honest, we could use all the smiling we can get this season, folks. So, with that, let's wrap this one up, my friends. In case you missed anything, where do you want to watch this again? Check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. Smash that subscribe button. SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and of course, always available at tealtownusa.com. So, with that, he is at Ian Blogs Hockey. She is at Dana Mai with an extra Y on the Twitter. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Margie _ the Queen on Instagram for her cat. It just made special appearances tonight, apparently chomping at the bit on your jersey. So Dana, your final thoughts.
Well, with regards to the Toronto jersey, one of them being gold and black, maybe it's kind of like a trauma response. It's like they're haunted by Boston, and their only way to process that is to embody it. Yeah. I didn't think about that, but I don't know.
All right, Ian.
I mean, not a great game tonight, but not, I don't know, man. I'm all out of anger for this team. It's fine. It's whatever at this point, right? I thought Kahkonen did well in his first start for the Sharks, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from him. Other than that, though, like you said, Ian Blogs Hockey on the Twitter machine, and yeah.
Yep. I'm at PuckGuy14 on the Twitter and the Instagram. My final thought is 7 years ago, the birthday boy, Chris JWS, officially launched this YouTube channel where we are over 2,600 subscribers and over 500,000 views. So we appreciate you, and you know what, Chris? Thank you very much. Even though you're saying end the conversation, no, Jerk says join the conversation. So we're going to do that. We're going to head over to our Discord channel right now. We will be back with you on Saturday following Sharks and Ducks. The Sharks are back home, so they'll be at your normal start time. So be on the lookout for that. And for Ian Reed and Dana Meyerson, I'm Eric Hura. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. By the way, the Barracuda have just lost 4-1 to the Abbotsford Canucks. With that, have a great night, everyone. We will see you on Discord. Have a good